So as you know, I love creating tarot spreads. I nearly forgot my words there. And one of the tarot spreads I created is called The Next Steps. And if you've seen it on Pinterest, then you will see how it works. But I'm going to break it down for you, and you probably can see the blog post as well, the link, using the link below. So today I'm using Angels. I don't know why I didn't like that. Angels and Ancestor Deck by Carl Gray. It's like I'm doing a makeup tutorial. I'm really not. And there's 3 parts of the spread. The first part is the root of the current problem, how to deal with it, and the action steps. So I'm always action orientated. I think taking action from our highest self, our highest truth, is the best way forward. And so when I talk about the root of the problem and how to deal with it, and then the action steps, it's all very much in alignment with how I like to operate in this world. There is no transformation from information without implementation. So the action is the implementation side. So I'm going to use this deck, and I'm going to shuffle and ask the angels for their guidance. Thank you. I am the open channel, open vessel. May this reading help to support somebody's next steps. May it also be one from my highest self, highest truth, and may I be empty of self so that I can be the open channel and vessel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I don't know what's going on with you, and maybe this will help though. So let's see. Número 1, número 3, número 2. I think I did French and Spanish. I always get confused. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So the first card, because you put the cards down and then you flip them over. The first card comes up as take care of your needs. You're not taking care of your needs, girl. Why did I do that? So the first thing is to recognize, in order for you to come from a place of overflow, the best thing you can do is really take care of your needs. I love the wolf. The wolf rides in packs, but also is a lone wolf too. Like, I'm good with you lot, but I'm also good by myself. And so wolf energy is all about being that leader, the leader that says, I'm taking care of me. This is my time. So taking care of your needs is so important. And I think oftentimes when we don't do that, we have unmet needs because people can't give us what we are lacking. We have to identify what we're lacking and then fulfill it within ourselves. We can ask people, but let's face it, if we don't know what we want, how on earth is anyone else going to figure that out? It's our job for us to sort of be still, tune into our body, and completely understand what it is we need. Mind, body, and spirit. So you might be hearing some rave music. My neighbors are having a good time. They didn't invite me though, so. But anyway, so take care of your needs is the first thing. That's the root. You're not taking care of your needs. That's the root of the problem. This is how you deal with it. You stand your ground. So you can see that this mountain, right? It's very, very solid. Not going anywhere. No matter what happens, I am standing here. I am not being moved. I am not being pushed over. Standing your ground is all about saying, look, I'm important. I have needs. And so even though you've asked me to do something, I need to make sure that I'm feeling fulfilled by that request. And it's not just about you. And so if something doesn't feel right in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, it's your job to say, can I get back to you on that? Or no. I mean, if it isn't a hell yes, then what are you doing really? But, you know, sometimes we can act on impulse. So the best bet for you to do is for you to make a decision that's based on, make it based on, and if you want to make an informed decision, there you go, it's coming. If you want to make an informed decision so that you can stand your ground, so you can be assertive, so you can get your needs met, then say that. Say, I need time. And if somebody says, oh, what do you need time for? That's when you say, no, thank you. Because at the same time, people have to respect that you need to make a decision that is an informed one. And that means getting the right information, making sure that you're not overcommitting yourself, making sure that you are in the best place. So that you're not sacrificing yourself, your needs, your health for everyone else. It just doesn't make sense. But yet people want us to do that time and time again. Because inherently people are quite selfish. And so they only see their own needs. And if you've been living in that environment for so long, you're not necessarily going to see that. You're going to, and so it's very important to know that you're having a human experience here. And even though you want to make an impact and give, you need to create boundaries. You need to stand up for yourself. And just like the mountain, which has its roots underneath the surface that you can't really see because it's underneath this bit, right? It's this bit, you can't see that bit, but it's solid as a rock. Anyway, very old school, you probably don't even know that song. And then the action steps is to set your sights higher. Oh, I love this one because this is like saying, look, if I continue to not take care of my needs, if I continue to not stand my ground, then I won't get what I need to get in order to achieve what I need to achieve. I won't be equipped. I won't have the energy. I won't have the time. I won't have the patience. I won't have anything left. And so setting my sights higher means that if I look at it from a higher perspective, from a what's available for me, like the stargazer, right? Like to say, look, if I just take a minute, if I just be mindful for a sec, and I say, well, this is where I'm at right now. If I do A, B, and C, this is what it's gonna maybe manifest, right? And now I'm not trying to make you the person that predicts the future, but what I want you to do is be mindful so that you're not being myopic, short-sighted, right? Set your sights higher. It's always about sort of the long-term game. Our little daily habits, the decisions we make today, the little ones make up the big ones for tomorrow, right? So if we're constantly saying, oh no, or yes, darling, yes, let's do it, yes, then you're not being able to set your sights high because you're constantly being lowered down. You're constantly being staying in the same place that you was maybe last year. And so setting your sights high is saying, what is it I want from my life? What is it I need in my life? What is it that I am denying myself the more I say yes, when I should be really standing my ground, owning my space, owning my time, because time is not something you can get back. And so being a stargazer, saying, look, this is what I want for my life. This is what's possible. And if I continue to not take care of myself, I won't have the energy to even go there. My body will shut itself down. It will slow down, even though it needs me to be at the peak performance. And so setting your sights higher, it's even got like some signs here on the telescope. And these signs are also probably looking at the way that you like to operate and honoring that. So maybe if you are a moon in Aries, or if you are a Aquarius sun, if I think there's a side rule. There's different ways to look at astrology. And so setting your sights high is also like honoring your emotions, right? The moon signs are about emotions. Honoring how you're perceived and knowing that that's nothing to do with you, but how you want to be seen in the world based on your own validation. And so it's honoring all parts of you. It's not like saying, okay, my mind says yes, but my body says no. How can you get into alignment so that you can set your sights higher and can receive what is available to you? So that's what came up when I did the reading my next steps. So next steps for you. So this is like, I know it's supposed to be like pick a card, but I literally done like one card. I picked a card for you. I picked a card, which is probably the wrong way to do it. But now that I've picked a card, I'm going to do a pick a card for all of you. So pick a card for all of you. I'm going to individually do 3 different ones, which you can choose from. And I'm going to draw them right now. So if you are team 1, these are the 3 next steps. I'm gonna do this. What I did. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to move this out of the way. So that was 1, 2, and this is 3. So number 1, number 2, and number 3. What are your next steps? So this is now become not just a collective reading for everybody, but now this one is actually for separate groups. And have I got colours for them and candles? No, not quite. But I will expand on them again using angels and ancestors. These are your next steps, and I'm going to give you a colour reading at the end of each one, so that you're not only just going to get that, but you're also going to get the healing colour you need in order to vibe up your life. Almost like Spice Girls. So if I did it from this is the beginning. Okay, so the first one is Dream the Journey, which is all about going in and creating that vision for your life. That's the problem. The current problem is you are not doing that enough. You're not perhaps owning that vision you have. And this kind of goes on to the setting your sights higher, right? Oftentimes we pick what we think is available to us rather than what is available to us. Everything's available to us. Sometimes we look at our circumstances and say, I'm only allowed this because this is all I see. And this someone's saying to you, go inwards, explore, everything's possible. But you need to create that world inwards first, and then you can journey it and then manifest it outwards. So the problem is that you're not doing that at the moment. You're not thinking big enough. So that's one. How to deal with it? Take charge with authority. The Lord said so. This is all about knowing that you're a co-creator. You are a co-creator. This energy of the Lord is obviously like, I've got my staff, I've got my crown, I know exactly who I am. I know whose I am. I know what I'm here to do. I know I'm going to make a difference. So this is about taking authority, commanding, not begging, not pleading, not asking, but commanding. This is how you deal with it. You command more because you are a creator. And so a creator doesn't say, can I? Please may I? It says, I am. I am abundant. I am powerful. I am resourceful. I am creative. I am. I am. So what I ams do you need to say to yourself? More so than ever. What light codes are you putting into your life right now? How are you feeding your soul? How are you speaking to yourself? Because the I am energy is how you deal with it. Deal with not journeying enough, not having that vision for your life. And then your action steps is be open to healing information, which is quite cool because I'm going to be giving you a healing color reading in a second, which will help you to do that. But be open to healing information. Sometimes we have information that is given to us and we're kind of like, that ain't for me, fam. Even though it might be. So the medicine guardian's all about being open to healing information. In each and every part of our lives, our everyday, we are given information. Sometimes it's in the form of maybe a movie, sometimes in the form of music, but be open to it. Be saying, I am available to receiving. That's how you take action. You sit down and you heal. You sit down and you listen to your highest wisdom that's going to help you to serve at a higher level. That's going to help you to bring that vision inside of you to life. It's going to say, I take authority. And anywhere that you haven't got authority, anywhere that you've got wounds that need healing, what healing information do you need to be listening to in order to heal? So what color, spirit, what color would be helpful to group number 1? What color would be helpful to group number 1? Woo! See that? Spirit's got you, man. Okay. I don't know if you want to hear this, but Dark Night of the Soul, black. Now, obviously, when you go through Dark Night of the Soul, it's a transformational experience. It's there to help you to become whole. It's there to help you to shed things that don't serve you. There's going to be richness in the Dark Night of the Soul. There's parts of you that's going to be shedding things that don't serve you. So the healing information in this is kind of like, get that tourmaline stone and find richness in the dark parts that you are going through. Because it's when we decide not to fight, not to war, but to surrender and say, I'm going to fight this with love and light. I'm going to fight this with the weapon of the weapons of love. There's richness in the Dark Night of the Soul. Transformations that we need to go through. And so if you haven't got this support for that, there's always support in the communities, different communities. Have a trusted advisor, somebody that's going to help you to just listen to what you've got to say, to let you speak about your experiences without the judgment piece, so that you can then see where you're getting that clarity and extra information that's going to give you the nuggets, those nuggets that you need in order to feel whole again, to be whole, to not be separate. So that's available. There's people around for you to do that. So that's that. Let's read in for number 1. So if you like this, if this resonated with you, thumbs this video up. Let me know in the comments what resonated with you. What resonated with you? It's an interesting one, right? Inner wisdom, inner journeying. To get that vision into life, bring it to fruition, to take charge with authority, to completely own your power by being open to healing information that is within Dark Night of the Soul. And so work with the color black, scan your body for any dark parts, bring it to the light. Namaste. Again, my links are in the bottom of this video. Let me know what resonated with you. Now, if you pulled deck number 2, card number 2, rather, then this is for you. This is your next steps. So, the first thing is that the root of your current problem is heart guardian. Love and let yourself be loved. So perhaps you are not allowing yourself to be loved. Perhaps you are not letting yourself to be loved. Perhaps you are don't even know what that really means for you. So the problem is that there's a lack of love there. There's a lack of love being given within. And so your job is to understand the root of the problem is there's a lack of the love, of letting yourself be loved by others, or just loving yourself, or a bit of both. So what can you do about that? The sage came up. This is how you deal with it. This is how you deal with it, using the sage power. Be devoted and committed. So that could be journaling and giving yourself that love, burning bay leaves and putting love on them and then allowing that love to go within. It's being devoted and committed to letting yourself be loved, to feeling loved, to knowing that you are loved by the universe, to knowing that you are loved. It's being devoted and committed to completely unapologetically loving yourself. The sage doesn't stop. The sage doesn't stop. Devotion, commitment. What are you willing to do to devote your love to yourself? And then last but not least, these are the action steps. To trust your talents in changing times. This is the spirit of the fox. So maybe there's a little bit of lack of trust, which goes back to love, right? If you don't trust yourself, then how can you truly love yourself? And if you can't trust yourself to love, then you're going to constantly go in a spiral. if you find yourself not committed to love, then that's going to cause you an issue. Bit of a close up there. Sorry about that. But here's the thing. Trust your talents in changing times. If you are going through a transition right now and you are not trusting your talents, you're not trusting the skills that you have, then take action by trusting it. Create. Add value. Just contribute. Be the contributor. How can you be the contributor rather than the consumer? How can you continuously add to the current conversation? I'm not asking you to be the person that starts as the visionary. I'm asking you just to add to the conversation. Add to the conversation. So what color healing does number 2 need to heal or have and embody in order to completely honor and trust themselves and to let love in? Let and be loved. Okay, number 2, what's available, what is, thank you. Mauve. Mauve is about enjoying clear hearing. Yeah, hearing. So there's a little bit of stillness going on for you, which means that be still. Be still. That devotion and commitment that you have for yourself, that journaling you might have, that gratitude journal you might create, that love journal you might create, just about loving yourself, looking in the mirror. It's about hearing. What are the words that are coming up for you? What are the words that are being repeated again and again? Once you kind of know the words that come up, and they might not always be positive, those are the words that you can start to change. When you're clear in that hearing, you're clear, you can be clearer in receiving the information that's correct. Sometimes I used to hear like 63, right? But really it was 3 because my mind was so busy chitty-chatter. Janice, your voice all it is yappa, yappa, yappa. It reminds me of that meme, right? It's all about being still enough to listen to what's being said. And also, like, when it comes to your work, sometimes we can be very sensitive when it comes to our talents and skills and sharing it and what people's interpretations. And that, you know, it's almost like it's our child, and if anyone says anything negative about it, we're ready to go. And so take the sting out of all of this and take all the energy out of it. And just start to trust your talents. It doesn't matter what anyone says. And at the same time, people are really willing to give their opinion when you don't even ask for it. So you commit and devote yourself to loving you, knowing that unconditional love that you're building within yourself is going to fuel that talent that you have and skills that you have. Because let's face it, when you are in love with you and what you do and what you bring, anything that other people come with doesn't taint the way you feel about you. Like, you can imagine, right? Somebody says, like, for me, somebody said something about my partner and they said a negative thing. It wouldn't change my opinion about them, my partner, because I have unconditional love for my partner. So no matter what anyone says, it won't change that because it's on a different level, and because other people's opinions are not as strong as my love, and because I know other people are going off maybe a first impression that isn't very accurate. And again, it's like, why would I trust their opinion over my own intuition, over what I know about somebody? So that's, for me, is the way I like to see my love and devotion and commitment to myself. If people say things about me, then it's my job to understand and know that I trust me more than I trust other people's words. And so you should trust yourself and your talents and your skills more so than what other people say. Because at the end of the day, you know you more than them. They might have an opinion and you might get some feedback as to how to improve. But again, does that mean they're going to throw away the whole paintbrush and canvas for somebody else's opinion when you are painting? Don't know why my voice did that. When you're painting a masterpiece, not everyone's masterpiece is to everyone's liking. So just think of yourself as this masterpiece. It doesn't need to be liked by everyone. So that's number 2. number 2. So if you like this, if you enjoyed this, if this helped you, then let me know in the comments below. Follow this video up. I appreciate you and you being in the community, and let me know what you think. Last but not least, card choosies, number 3. So again, I'm just going to go up to my spread, make sure that I'm getting this right. So the first one is about the root of my current problems. And so it says stay rooted and grounded. You're not, if you are an air sign, you might be an air sign. You might find it very hard to stay rooted and grounded. You might find yourself quite floaty. And so staying rooted and grounded might cause you to be in overwhelm mode, might cause you to change your mind quite a few times, might cause you to doubt yourself. So this card that's coming up about your next step is about the problem. You are not staying rooted and grounded. There is something going on for you, and perhaps there are external forces that are stopping you from grounding yourself and doing it on a regular basis. So this is how you deal with it. You move in a new direction. Now, the traveler here doesn't necessarily mean that you have to travel anywhere. It could mean that as well, though, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you should just pick up your bags and leave. It could literally mean you're moving in a new direction, as in you're moving your mindset in a new direction. You're changing your way you feel about things. You're changing the way you look at things. You're changing the way you see things. You're changing the way you hear things. You're moving in a new direction, because the old direction, the old way of being, the old way of thinking is just not serving you. And so that's what that means. Obviously, you can move to different places, but if you are moving to get away from your own thoughts and beliefs, then you're just going to end up finding yourself in the same situation. Your job is to be at peace with yourself. And so wherever you go, there you are. And so let's understand that moving in directions is about mind as well. And if you look at the lady, there's a compass here, and it's got all directions, right? All directions. So that could also pertain to north, south, east, and west. It's also looking at alignment. It's looking at all the suits. It could be the earth, the air, the fire, the wands, and all the suites that are normally within tarot. You know, the elements. The word I'm looking for, the elements. So getting into alignment by looking at the elements and seeing where you might be out of alignment. And so this is your next action step. Follow the voice of your soul. Follow the voice of your soul. So this one's kind of comes back to that part where we talk about stargazer, right? Oftentimes when you're not grounded, you can't hear what your soul's saying. So your next action step is, after you get grounded, after you start to change your mindset, what is your soul saying to you? How do you actually speak to your soul? How do you follow the voice of your soul if you can't hear it? So start to do soul talk. You know, I think you're amazing. I think you're great at always showing up and being on time. You're fantastic about encouraging others. Soul talk. When you do some soul talk, your soul voice will get louder, because it's almost like you're having this two-way dialogue. It's not just a one-way situation coming up. So the star ancestor is about being that mindful person and allowing yourself to feed your soul, to be grounded enough to hear your soul, to change that mindset so that you're in alignment with the soul, and then take the action by actually following the voice of it and trusting it. You know, there's that element as well. So is there a color that group 3 needs to hear? Is there a color that group 3 needs to hear? Okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Color that came up is amber. It's been a popular color this week. Amber is about awakening your creativity, Normally your soul has an abundance of talents available, and so awakening your creativity and tapping into amber is that part of you that might need awakening. You awaken part of your soul, you awaken part of your spirit, you awaken elements that have been dormant for a while. So awakening your creativity will help you a lot. I want a clarifying card for group number 3. I know we don't normally do that, but we're going off grid. Clarifying card for number 3, because the awakening of creativity, I'm not sure how that aligns. Spirit, let me know what else group 3 need to hear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so Druid, the ancestor, says hold your space. Now, holding space is normally giving yourself the gaps. You know, meditation, when you are meditating, it's not about the thoughts that come up. It's not even about you not having any thoughts, because that's impossible. It's about you holding space. It's about you giving yourself time to actually heal. So there's a message here for group 3 about holding space. In order for you to follow the voice of your soul, stay rooted and grounded, meditate. Hold the space. Make it available so that you can follow the voice of your soul, so you can listen to what is available. And if we look back at the overall group reading, the first one, not the first one, but the very first one for everyone, there was stuff about drumming and visioning. And so holding the space is really important. So that is the readings for group 1, 2, and 3. If this has been helpful to you, then great. There are links below. I was going to say something, but that's probably a bit too late. There are links below this that give you more information about what I do, how I work. But obviously, if you fund this up, it helps to support the channel and let me continue to do this work and help to serve you for free. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and have an amazing week.